Food banks do a great job of doing food drives in schools and canned good drives and in grocery stores and all the things. But we're the only one where people can actually donate protein, which is the most expensive part of every meal, and many argue the most important part of every meal.
I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for the Louisiana Farm Bureau podcast. A lot of our members, they're farmers, right? They're involved in agriculture, but people who are involved in agriculture are also involved in two other things. One, usually hunting, fishing, anything outdoors, but they're also involved in supporting their community, philanthropy, and the like. Joining me now is Julie Grunewald, the Executive Director for Hunters for the Hungry Louisiana. Julie, thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, Julie, let's learn a little bit first about Hunters for the Hungry, because I was a little surprised to learn some of the beginnings of this back in 2014.
1994. Actually.
Oh, whoa, okay, yeah. When you add 20 years to something, that's what happens.
That's what happened. Yeah, it's a really cool story. Actually, the chairman of our board, Judy Campbell, and her husband were on a hunting trip in another state, and she picked up a little local paper and read about an organization similar to Hunters for the Hungry here in Louisiana. And she said, Richard, we have to start this in Louisiana. We live in Sportsman's paradise. How do we not have something where our hunters and fishermen can give back to the community? And so they did. They came back and they filed the paperwork for 501c3. And yeah, that was in 1994. And we have just been, skyrocketed on our awareness and our programs and everything since then.
How kind of did it start? Did it start with just one freezer clean out with one deer? And that just because everything has normally a very humble beginning.
Yeah, for sure. So Richard Campbell was very close to Michael Acaldo at St. Vincent de Paul here in Baton Rouge, and came to him one day literally with a deer in the back of his truck and said, here you go, I have a donation for you. Someone harvested this deer and they don't need it. And so Michael, in his suit and tie, unloaded the deer and they processed it right then and there in their kitchen. And that kind of started the deer donation program, to where it got so big that they eventually involved Baton Rouge Food Bank so that they would have freezer space for the donations and the like. So, and then it's kind of taken off statewide now. So
since 1994 to today, what has Hunters for the Hungry been doing?
So we've been expanding our awareness. We've been expanding our programs. We're just trying to get more and more people to understand that every little bit that they can give helps so much. So obviously, Louisiana struggles with food insecurity. We have all seen the many statistics, in regards to that. Feeding Louisiana puts out, I feel like, new statistics all the time, urging and begging people to help and give back. And so Hunters for the Hungry is a very unique program in that way, because we're the only nonprofit organization where people can donate protein. So, food banks do a great job of doing food drives in schools and canned good drives and in grocery stores and all the things. But we're the only one where people can actually donate protein, which is the most expensive part of every meal, and many argue the most important part of every meal. So, we're a very unique kind of niche organization when it comes to that, because not only do, like I said, we live in Sportsman's paradise, we have a lot of hunters, as you said, and fishermen and landowners and all the things, but they can actually donate what they're harvesting in the fields or catching in the waters to help feed the needy in their own community.
I know a lot of hunters are probably going to their freezers right now and saying, wow, I still have a lot here. I still have maybe not all the backstrap, but I've got a bunch of sausage that's still left from whenever I had my deer processed. You guys have something coming up just a few days away on the 23rd. Tell me about Clean Out Your Freezer Day.
Yeah, so Clean Out Your Freezer Day is a great way for doing just what it says. We're preparing for the upcoming hunting season, which a lot of, men and women are already thrilled about. And so this is kind of, we catch everybody in late August before they're starting to go out to their camps and planting food plots and all the things. And we're saying, okay, look, you're about to bring home a whole lot more meat. Where on earth are you going to put it? So we'll take it off your hands for you. And so we make it very easy for people to do just that. We have drop-off locations throughout the entire state where we have volunteers that you just drive up with your ice chest. They grab the contents out of your ice chest and you drive off. I mean, it is just as simple as that. We have all 5 major food banks throughout the state of Louisiana involved. They're super appreciative. Again, we're getting protein donated. The food banks turn around and give it to their agencies, the shelters, the soup kitchens, the addiction centers, that they have such small budgets. So if you take something like their protein budget out of, the line of what they're having to do, it makes a huge difference for these centers and shelters and stuff. So we just encourage everybody to kind of, look in your freezer. It doesn't take a lot of prep work. Just kind of take a glance and say, all right, I have some ground meat, I have some sausage, I have some fish that, fall fishing's coming up, obviously deer season, so make some room. The wives especially love our clean out your freezer day, because when the men are talking about going hunting again, they're like, no, where are you going to put all this? So we give a lot of wives that'll drive up and say, don't tell my husband that I'm here if you see him. But it's a great way to just kind of make some room and do something good all at the same time.
And it's pretty easy to find out where there's a Clean Out Your Freezer Day location in your area. Just go to h4hla.org/freezer-day. We'll also put a link down in the show notes because it's a lot of locations.
There's a lot of times. And we actually have a website that links you to that that's a little bit easier. It's cleanoutyourfreezer.com.
Wow, that's even easier.
Even easier.
That goes to show you, I went the long way, Julie. I'm one of these old tech guys. Oh, I'm going to Google and the snap and click. And that's what happened there.
We try to make everything as easy as possible for you to donate your deer, for you to donate monetarily. You can do that on our website, and get to our website, cleanoutyourfreezer.com.
Now, let's sort of set the stage for this coming hunting season. You've got another program that is similar to Clean Out Your Freezer Day, but I think it's just a little more intentional. And when people do take advantage of this, whenever they make the decision to go forward, I think it's a little more from the heart and shows that they really support what you're doing.
For sure. So our freshly harvested game program is for our deer and our hogs. And yes, so a hunter can donate a deer. We have over 50 processors throughout the state that partner with us. So we try to make it, again, as easy as possible for you to do this. Once you harvest a deer and maybe fill your own freezer, maybe fill your family's freezer, but these hunters still want to participate in the sport of hunting because they wait all year long to be able to hunt. And so you can harvest a deer, you can drop it off at one of our partner processors. There's zero cost to the hunter. That is the most important part. Hunters for the Hungry pays the entire processing fee. So the processor will accept the deer on our behalf. They will process it into ground meat, and then they'll call me and say, okay, I have deer ready, and that I'll send that food bank in that community the truck to go pick up the ground meat, and then I'll pay the processing invoice. So, this is great for not only the recreational side of things, but, if you have land and you need to do herd management, if you have a hunting club and, DMAP, Wildlife and Fisheries is coming in saying, to keep a healthy herd, you really need to take off 200 does or whatever, however big your property is. Processing fees are expensive. And so, a lot of the landowners or the hunting clubs are saying, well, no, I don't want to have to pay to process that many deer. Well, guess what? We do. We will help you. We will partner with you, and we will make it easy for you to do just that. So each processor is located, again, on our website, contact information. And some of them, especially in North Louisiana, will take the deer whole. They just say, come in, drop it off during normal business hours, no problem. Some require it to be field dressed, so we do recommend that you call the processor that you're going to be visiting and just make sure you make it easy on everybody and seamless. And kind of the same with hogs. So, feral hogs are, as we all know, a huge nuisance, and there's an ample amount of them. And so we have a hog program that people can kind of do the same. You can just bring your hogs directly to the processor. They'll take it and process it, no cost to the hunter. And a lot of these landowners that we partner with are working with nuisance hunters, and so then they'll trap them and get with the processor and bring them all in at the same time. And it's been a great program, and it's all going to good use.
I kind of cued in on something you said there, and that is that processing is expensive. And that means that you guys at Hunters for the Hungry need support.
We do.
Tell me how folks can support either individually on the corporate side. What level of support can people do? And obviously, I know you're going to say any support is appreciated, but what is the most helpful for you guys? So
we do. We have different family foundations. We have different companies, even just individuals that love our mission and want to offer financial support to us. We find that there are, especially obviously being in Louisiana, there's a lot of companies that their employees are big outdoorsmen and hunters, and they're always trying to find a philanthropy to partner with that kind of hits everybody's heartstrings, I guess you can say. So, or interest. And so, if that's the case, and you have a lot of hunters and fishermen that are your employees, and you want to do something and support an organization that kind of relates to everyone, then we're it. We're always looking for different partners. We need corporate sponsorships. We need individual sponsorships. Even for our Clean Out Your Freezer Day donation, some people will say, "Well, I don't have anything in my freezer." We have people that'll go to the grocery store and buy chicken and ham and just donate it because they just love what we're doing and they just appreciate our mission. So in any capacity, yes, we're always looking for partners. We're always looking for corporate sponsors, individual sponsors. So all of that information is located on our website. It's very easy to find and very easy to find me. All my cell phone numbers is listed everywhere. So we'll even go to do a specific Clean Out Your Freezer Day at a corporate office. We've done that before. Cajun Industries here in Baton Rouge has a ton of hunters. And so for their Christmas party, we go and we set up a station, and that's part of them giving back is they have their employees clean out their freezer in December. So there's all kind of different little one-offs that we can certainly do for individuals. We don't turn anything down. We don't turn down alligator. We don't turn down squirrels, ducks, any of it. So nothing's off the table.
And I guess when you brought up about people buying chicken specifically to donate, I guess if someone has maybe some freezer beef, someone who's bought a half a calf or a whole calf, and they're at the point where I've used pretty much everything I normally use, I'm about to buy another calf or half a calf.
For sure.
You would be happy to take that.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be just wild game or fish. I mean, certainly beef. We even have some farmers, that have donated calves before to us, or if they can walk into the slaughterhouse and to be slaughtered, then we can take them. So there's all kind of different opportunities, I guess, for our farmers, our landowners, our hunting clubs. Just give us a call and we can work through it.
Well, Julie, thank you for giving them an opportunity to do this, because giving is one of the best things that we can do to connect us to one another.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it goes a long way. And we try to keep every donation that is going into, the different processors into that community. So, for instance, if you're located in Duboc, Louisiana, well, then the food pantry in Duboc is the one that's going to receive the meat. And we have, like I said, over 50 locations where people can drop off their deer and that sort of thing. So we try to feed those communities specifically, because the hunters are doing a great service by donating their harvest to them. So.
You're literally helping your neighbors in that case.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much. She is Julie Grunewald. She is the Executive Director of Hunters for the Hungry. That does it for this edition of the Louisiana Farm Bureau podcast. We'll put some links there in the show notes. That way, if you want to find out more, you want to find out about Clean Out Your Freezer Day, or even about how to donate a deer, it'll all be right down there.